Round of 10, Group A. 2022 Hot 6 GSL Season 3.
I like the speed.
Yeah, not too bad. It's better than that other one where they're like, give up now or whatever. Okay, so we just had like one of the most epic TVZs in a really long time. That was a fantastic match. And you can see that Bunny is trying to close the gap here. He is going to need to beat Hero to really change those standings. But there's other stuff that can... Well, no, I guess actually that is what it comes down to. The GuMiho RagnaroK series.
I mean, if
is
GuMiho
going to
loses,
be, yeah, I guess if GuMiho loses like 0-2 and then Bunny beats Hero 2-1, then GuMiho will not make it.
yeah, Bunny needs to win no matter what.
Yeah, Bunny definitely needs to win to make it in, but GuMiho losing could screw things up for GuMiho here, I guess. So, yeah, no, there's some interesting things. There might even be like a small chance of a tie here. Right?
Can you imagine going to a tiebreaker match? Could be crazy.
I'm trying to figure out like, wait, no, but GuMiho beat Bunny. Yeah, no, I guess that would be it. There is a possibility that Hero, Bunny, and GuMiho all tie.
And if there's a three-way tie, then we would go into a tiebreaker match. Is that right?
If the maps are equal.
Okay.
Yes, so if they all have exactly the same numerical score and win and loss score, then we would go into tiebreaker maps. And then if that continues too long, we flip a coin, which is really, I'm waiting.
I love you. I listened to the previous cast. I love you saying this for Protoss players have their edge. I was like rolling at home, man. That was perfect. That was such a good joke.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I like Protoss players that don't take themselves too seriously.
I know what I am.
Chase is like, ha ha, yeah.
I know what I am.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You gambling clown. Okay, so.
All right, RagnaroK versus GuMiho. So GuMiho, if he wins, he's safe, right?
Yeah.
If he wins, he's safe. If he loses, the potential that if Bunny wins, things can get very crazy.
Yes,
a lot riding on this series, a lot riding on every series. We're going to go to Data C, GuMiho versus RagnaroK. Who will win?
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
I love that these last two matches actually really matter. That makes me very happy because that does not have to be the case.
I was just thinking the same thing. A lot of it comes down to Solar just absolutely playing his heart out despite being eliminated from the group in the previous series. Like, he grinded it out like nobody else.
Yeah. No, I mean, I already really liked Solar. He's just like a nice guy and cool and funny and good. But to see him play like that too, it's great. It's awesome. So it is gas pool here for RagnaroK, which is kind of interesting. Data C, of course, this is a map for standard Terran play. It's like pretty hard since everything is so far. But GuMiho last time did do a crazy BC build, which I really enjoyed. I thought that was a very cool, very fun game from him.
That was on TVZ?
Yes,
so I think he also did this map TVT, the BC build, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it this map? You know what?
So.
I think you're right, actually. I think he did, and it was the proxy BC that game, and then
I might be mistaken. Some of these maps they kind of blend together.
He was the other one was 2-port BC against Zerg.
Gotcha.
Right. So yeah.
Oh, that was the 4 BC game.
Yeah. That was
right.
That was a very, very cool one. Anyways, I'm hoping to see more of that out of GuMiho, but
the 4 BC style was really fun to watch. He was so committed on it, too. Every time a BC went down, he would just remake it, get exactly back to that 4 BC count. Because it seems like
he has a lot of cool things that he does with this, for sure.
Yeah, he's just one of the best players, in my opinion. I mean, he's so much fun to watch.
Yeah. Actually, here's let me be real for a moment. When GuMiho won, it was like a really cool moment because he's one of the oldest GSL players. Like, he was in like season 2, if I recall correctly, right? Like, there's just a handful of players from that era, like Maru and GuMiho and a couple others. But when he won a GSL, Like, he had revived mech single-handedly and then won GSL Codas, which is the ultimate achievement for Korean players. And that was really touching. Honestly, I never thought that he could really win it again. It was like the stars kind of aligned in a way because he's so stylistic and so different. But, like, here he is playing, and he looks like one of the top of the world. So I'm excited in a lot of ways about him. All right, little group of speedlings running up. He does close the wall in time.
Oh, that mule is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Just dropped. Only gonna be able to get 1, maybe 2 trips in. CC lifting off and 3 SCVs, and this is not a CC first, so these SCVs going down hurt quite a bit.
Yeah, that is painful. GuMiho is down by a couple of workers, and like you said, the mule, very, very painful. Loses those additional Marines as well. Certainly better than when RagnaroK did it against Bunny. But yeah. I guarantee you whatever GuMiho is doing is a better follow-up than that really weird late +1 timing push that Bunny did, so.
True that.
I'm not sounding the alarms
Whoa,
for Mr. GuMiho.
RagnaroK going for a 2-base layer.
Oh!
Interesting.
Oh, I actually was paying attention to that so much that I did not even realize that. My God. Okay, so.
And he's on 1 geyser as well.
Well, he's gonna throw 3 geysers down, right?
You gotta think. Unless it's gonna be like a Nidus?
Well, he's not making queens, so it can't be.
Third
it can't
hatchery.
be Nidus. No, I think he saves up minerals for the.
Okay, there's the
hatch.
geysers.
There's the 3 geysers. Well, I think it's a Muta build. I think it's a Muta rush. Like, this was super popular, and RagnaroK actually used it a lot at the beginning of the BC meta. When the BCs really came out, I recall some Zergs trying out 2-hatch Muta in that same era. So I think that's what we're going to see. See if a Spire goes down. Yeah, there it is.
Good call.
Well, that's exciting. Like, we don't really see 2-hatch Muta anymore. It was years ago that this was popular for a bit.
GuMiho right now, if I'm not mistaken, has exactly 0 Marines. He's only been making Hellions because he's been a little bit mineral starved lately, and now he's using the barracks to make a tech lab. So this Viking is all the anti-air that GuMiho has at the moment, now starting a Marine production and stim.
Damn. As soon as I see that stim upgrade, I'm like, damn, that's not what I want to see here.
I was actually wondering for a moment if he was going to go mech, considering how long he delayed resuming his Marine production.
I have a hard time imagining GuMiho, though, winning with bio against RagnaroK on this map, but we'll see.
Apparently I was wrong. He actually did have a handful of Marines. Discount that.
4 Marines? It doesn't count. 4 is 0.
But he did delay Marine production for a very long time, so these Mutalisks, if there are no missile turrets out, could prove to be very troublesome. Zerg right now with a 600 gas bank going on 700 will be able to produce a handful of mutas to start things off, and still only 1 barracks up here for GuMiho, and
he might actually kill a very good amount of SCVs here. I want to see him make a beeline for that. Don't clean this up. This is not actually that dangerous, I think. Like, the Hellions, this is the only thing you have to worry about. He'll throw, maybe throw down an evolution chamber block, whatever you need to do. But if the mutas just fly directly across the map, I feel like he can get a lot of SCVs, man.
Yeah, only 7 SCVs and 4 of them are right here. I mean, that's 1 down already. Yeah. This medevac's going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, well, they pop out right there, so I guess why not?
Alien's actually doing a lot of damage to that hatchery.
Not something you see every day.
No, not at all. And GuMiho wisely kind of creating problems right now here for RagnaroK. He does not want those mutas to fly across map when he only has a handful of Marines back at home, so he's going to trade out a couple of these Hellions to buy some time.
That was really well handled by GuMiho.
Yeah, still only 4 Marines at home.
Did he not make turrets?
I think he might. He has 1 in production now. He has to have some turrets.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy.
If he does have a turret in every line, that's insane.
Yeah, he's had 1-1 going for a while. But these mutas do have a little bit of space right now with the Marine count as low as it is.
Great turret placement. I love that middle one there.
It's nice guarding the production. I mean, he really needed that considering how low the Marine count was.
The Hellions bought him that time. That was really very well done.
2 evolution chambers now underway here for RagnaroK.
Yeah, so this is oftentimes the problem with the 2-hatch Muta play. Like, the 2-hatch Muta has to do stuff. I'm thinking back to all the games that we saw in casted of this in GSL before. If the mutas don't keep control, you get in trouble because your opponent is going to be up 2 upgrades for significant periods of time. So your lings are actually not going to battle well. You're going to rely on speed banes and just mutas flying around the map. Oh, no.
Muta's coming in. That Widow Mine will connect.
It's a big hit.
One Muta's going down, a lot of damage done as well. 1-1 just about to finish here for GuMiho. Does stim.
Good usage here. Oh, man, another good mine hit. Good usage of that Viking as well.
Even I didn't see that mine.
Yeah, no, well, no one saw it. It was hidden. 2.5D, man. Can't see it.
Muta's taking a little bit more damage. GuMiho just kind of happily powering up at home right now. These Mutas haven't been able to find too much. Just a handful of SCVs, a couple of Marines. Beyond that, really not a lot of damage, but once these 5 Mutas pop and he gets +1 air weapons, he might have a chance to start taking down turrets, and that's where it can become problematic for the Terran.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, though, because GuMiho has been very smart with his mines. He's always been one of the smartest mine placers.
He's one of the smartest players.
Yeah.
He's a smart gamer.
I just think of all the little mine traps he set up in the past against Oracles. That's always what like really got me. And already he's gotten 2 mine hits on these Mutas, which is not that common.
Nice armor shred. I love that by RagnaroK, just hitting that building structure twice to get the glaives to bounce to kill the SCV. Very smart.
Very good stuff. Shredded Mutas have to run away from this. They can't fight anything.
It's totally irrational, but I have like some sick sadistic urge to just like watch all these Mutas run into these Marines while they have armor shred.
Yeah.
Just a plume of blood.
How quickly can they die?
Oh, that's another one that's gonna pop up. Ooh, nice split.
Oh, RagnaroK very fast.
Some pro gamer stuff right there.
Rightfully so, as these are pro gamers.
Muta's continuing to fly around. Muta count getting pretty healthy right now.
95 drones, by the way.
Yeah, that's a lot of drones.
Okay, he's getting drilling claws. GuMiho is. His 2-2 is coming up. He's macroing well and everything. But look at the map while these Mutas fly around. Like, the only thing that's happening right now, action-wise, is the Mutas are being chased. So, like, what we were talking about before, where the Mutas, you have to keep them busy, he has done that in spades. And now RagnaroK has a 6th base on the way, and creep spread to halfway on the map.
Yeah, and he wants to take this fight right here in the middle. Armor tread going down on the Mutas, but the Banelings are rolling in, and GuMiho's army just gets absolutely obliterated right now, plummeting to 130 supply. As the Banelings continue to roll in with 94 drones. There's going to be way more coming. I think we might see GuMiho just tap out. That's going to be it. RagnaroK GG takes map number 1.
Yeah. You know, some people think Cyril's the GOAT, some people think Rogue's the GOAT. I think RagnaroK's the GOAT, man. This kid is just destroying in GSL lately. Playing a fantastic game right there. The 2-hatch Muta you don't see as often. Did the early speedling aggression too.
I love to see it. I mean, a lot of people, when they think about RagnaroK, kind of think of his older style where he had a lot of crisp timing attacks, took a lot of risks early, went for aggression, but what he's showing, especially here in Codes this season, is that he is a force to be reckoned with even in macro games because, I mean, ballooning up to 90+ drones, controlling the pace of the game with the Mutas.
He opened gas pool too. Like, a lot of his macro games, he's doing small early aggressions and then aggressively droning behind that and doing a great job of recovering his economy. It's honestly very impressive the way he's playing. He's playing very different from all the other Zergs.
It's dynamic. A lot of these Zergs we see, if they try to go for this eco play, they just kind of play conservatively until they get a healthy drone count. All right, set number 2 on Moondance. RagnaroK up 1-0. If he wins this, he's going to get first place in the group.
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
All right, you have a free 3rd base on this map. Okay. GuMiho, go mech. Okay, you got that free 3rd. You got a beautiful BC jump spot behind the natural that borders on the 3rd as well. That's a nice jump spot.
Yeah, same between the main and the 3rd. There's a couple nice jump spots you can choose from.
Yeah.
I like it. Even if we don't see mech, I hope we see BCs.
Yeah. Well, if you go BC in a bio, like I don't think that BC Bio is as good as BC Mech, and he's so good at Mech. Like, you got to go Mech. But honestly, looking at that game that we just saw, GuMiho is not bad at Bio.
No, not at all.
But he's better at Mech, and like this Lingbane Muta stuff that RagnaroK just showed, like he outclassed GuMiho, to be perfectly frank. He outclassed him with that. And if you can't like do better than what he just did there against a 2-edge Muta opener, you got to switch it up. You can't do that again.
Well, if he's going to do it, this is going to be the map to do it on.
Yeah.
As you said, that backdoor third base, so easy to protect, especially with a mech composition.
Yeah. You're going to be invincible on 3 base, and the 4th is not that far away. You're
Yeah,
okay. The 5th is not that far away. Like,
yeah, and looking at this, if you decide to actually push across the map with your mech, I mean, you're going to get there pretty quickly. Zerg is eventually going to have to expand a little bit towards you.
It's kind of, I got to tell you, I do like the map pool this season. Map makers, I think, did a really good job. There's very interesting maps with different ideas here.
It's fun.
I'm appreciating it a lot. Like Stargazers, I'm really digging that back natural right now. The gold base in the middle, I think, made that TVZ really interesting.
Oh, it did. It made
did.
it so much more dynamic. Can you imagine if that base was gone and it's just pure split map? It would have been so much more camping, so much less
terrible.
engagements.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, map makers really hit it out of the park.
I think so. And Moondance is really fun, too. I'm digging this back third base. It's like free third. It's really neat.
I was always a fan of the idea of kind of using maps to also balance the game a little bit, too.
Absolutely.
And I mean, we've had an era of Zerg dominance for quite a while here in StarCraft 2, and I mean, there is a handful of Zergs that are far and above the best in the world that have been a key part of that dominance, but it does feel like this map pool is a little bit more Terran favored, a little bit less Zerg favored. I mean,
Would agree.
we do only have 2 Protosses in Group A and Group B, but there's a lot of good Protosses that are in the military right now here in Korea. I mean,
That's
it's
true.
no surprise that Hero and Creator are in, but
And
the maps.
I guarantee you next year, man, Classic is going to be back, like, swinging, unless he, like, completely retires. But
I doubt it. He's got so much talent.
yeah. So we're going to get the return of people, just like we see with, like, DRG and GuMiho doing well. But, yeah, I definitely agree that maps are such an important part of that.
Sorry, Otosis.
Oh, Stimpack. You had to ruin my day? Should have just told me to close my eyes and pretend he was going mech, man, but now he's going Stimpack. I don't know.
Just listen to the siege tank shots, Artosis.
Yeah.
Ignore the Marines.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of Marines in there, Steve.
No. Those are changelings. They learn how to shoot.
Oh, damn.
All right, RagnaroK adding in 10 roaches right now. Curious to see if he continues roach production and, okay, back into drones.
I think, yeah, he should stop after that. Like, as soon as they see the roaches, you don't need to make them anymore.
Yeah, this is something that RagnaroK likes to do quite a bit in his TVZs. Feels like often it's either going to be lings coming out from him or like a handful of roaches, like maybe somewhere between 7 and 10.
Yeah.
Kind of 2 staple pressure builds that he likes to go to.
GuMiho is going to be completely fine here. This is actually not that scary.
Yeah.
He scouted it before it left the natural of RagnaroK, so he just has time for bunkers. And between the bunkers, just repairing them and the Hellions Ava on the map, this is like RagnaroK's best move is actually to turn around here, I think.
We'll see. He might decide to try to trade some of these out.
Oh god, if you don't
Wow.
repair.
Wow. Okay.
That's not what I expected. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, okay.
Guess we're all learning something here. Roach is running into the main base.
I thought, like, oh, maybe he attacks the bunker and then targets SCVs.
That's what I was thinking too, but look at this. He's all the way in the main base. Just completely ignoring the bunker. And look, he got a siege tank. He got 6, or those with drones actually going down. Ignore. You might eventually get 6 SCVs.
Okay.
Creative move. I mean,
it was.
Killing a siege tank is pretty big. 5 SCVs, it's not bad.
Well, I said I thought that his best move was actually turning around and going home. And then he just went for it and dived up the ramp, which is such an uncommon tactic in these situations. And it's like what we were talking about before, where he's like, no, people make mistakes. And then he like runs up and gets that damage that we weren't expecting, because most players probably wouldn't do that move.
And GuMiho right now, 1 tank shy.
Yeah.
It's a really nice play. I mean, a lot of these siege tank pushes, when they eventually come in, I mean, it does rely on those tanks being set up in very defensive positions. Anytime you can kill a tank, it's huge.
Yeah, for sure. Bunch of lings being made right now. Baneling Nest, Evolution Chamber, layer almost done. 1-1 here for GuMiho. He's going to finish his wall. Of course, he does have that 3rd CC.
3 more barracks in production. And RagnaroK right now on 57 drones. Not too high just yet. 5 more in production. Carapace now started. I wonder if we're going to see a 4th base from GuMiho.
Well,
I kind of feel like it has to be, right?
Yeah. I mean, he can do something like try to really power into just a 2-2 timing push, but even if you're doing that, you're making a 4th. Because I don't think in any universe you're thinking like you're going to insta-win when you hit 2-2 here. See, he starts his 4th CC, so
yeah, there it is.
He would agree with that.
It kind of feels like the only time that Terrans actually fully commit to a 3 command center all in is when they get away with a greedy CC first.
Yeah, you know what? You're definitely right about that. That's where it's like supercharged. It's just when you optimized literally everything, like that game that we saw. I think it was funny, like you mentioned, where it was 3 CC first, 3rd CC off like 1 racks, and like 2 eBays
immediately.
It's like, well, this is the only build that follows this is an all-in.
Yeah, the power spike is just way too strong.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've even seen some less gritty CC first openings into 3-base all-ins just work very effectively. I think me and Nick Cassidy a day where we had like 5 of those games, and Terran just went 5-0. I'd love to see it sometimes. Timing pushes like that could be really fun to watch. I know some people hate, short games and I'm like this, and actually hold that thought as 1 depot is down, and that's a lot of Lings coming in, only 4 Marines without combat shields to defend. 4 rallies coming in, but there's a lot of damage, a lot of lost mining time, a lot of bio going down as SCVs begin to fall.
Yeah, the SCV's running out of the back here. Still Ling's getting some more damage, buying time as well, very important.
GuMiho, to his credit, only losing 4 SCVs, but Siege Tank does get left exposed and gets taken out. And, I mean, that's 2 Siege Tanks less than GuMiho expects to have at this stage in the game, and that's a lot of the firepower being gone out of this army. It
really is. How do you stop those Banes? I mean, look, GuMiho's got good micro, but he's not Byun, he's not Maru. Like, you can't just look at Ling Bane and say, I'll just kill all the Banes and then kill it. It's like, no, not in this day and age, not against this guy.
It's quite tough.
Yeah. Hydra's popping out right now. I think RagnaroK playing a very solid game. GuMiho's still alive. Like, the game is not over.
Oh, no, not by any means.
Yeah. But, it feels like GuMiho's not making actual progress at the moment.
Oh, we're just going to trade those out. All right. So the stem, and I was certain he was going to pick up in just a second.
Yeah.
Instead, a lot of Marines going down.
Well, I think what we're watching is the multitasking of someone that normally goes mech, where it's not quite like, I mean, he's still a pro. He's still pro level with bio, but it's not the same as our championship Terrans.
2-2, about 3/4 of the way done for both, or halfway done for both players right now. Surprisingly, not much of an upgrade advantage for Terran. Oftentimes, we'll see Terran have a window of maybe 30 seconds where their 2-2 is going to finish ahead of the Zerg, but no such window to capitalize on in this game, as infantry weapons is about the only thing that's going to be finishing with any real advantage.
Yeah, I got to say, I like the Hydras here as well from RagnaroK. With the amount of siege tanks he's picked off, I feel like the Hydras are not a bad choice.
Look at the army supplies, Artosis. This is a little bit scary, actually.
GuMiho is peaking right now, but there's a lot of Banes on the way. Look at this huge arc he's falling back into. Here, GuMiho goes up to the front. Now,
I love that by the Marines. They got so many Banelings right there on the right side.
Oh my god.
Only 6 Banelings up. That is not enough Banelings for RagnaroK.
Certainly not. He's actually lost some of the creep spread there as well. He will try to push us back. The siege tanks are here,
rallies.
though.
The rallies getting caught in the middle as well. GuMiho getting so much uncontested damage done. I mean, these Hydras and Banelings, they're fighting, but they're getting very little done. Those were some nice connections right there on the left side.
GuMiho continue to keep this pressure on the supply. Very low here for RagnaroK. He's going to go ahead and lose that hatchery. A big moment here for GuMiho.
Almost double the army supply is GuMiho. Feels like he's going to push through in any second, and that's going to be it. RagnaroK calls GG.
That was a nice win there from GuMiho. Like, it felt like RagnaroK was very close to stabilizing everything, and he was just very short on Banes when that huge amount of Marines went across the map.
Yeah, RagnaroK was doing a lot of things right, and it really felt like it was kind of his game for a while. Like GuMiho just
Well, there
peak
was
with
no
that timing, and RagnaroK didn't have enough units.
There was no real forward progress for GuMiho. He wasn't clearing a lot of creep. He wasn't getting a lot of damage. He lost something like 3 tanks that weren't in actual main battles with the Marines.
Yeah.
And then RagnaroK goes into Hydra, which is generally countered by tank reasonably well, but GuMiho just suddenly has like 95 supply of Marine medevac, and RagnaroK had like 3 Banes. Oops!
Yeah, RagnaroK a little bit light there on the Bane lane count. Not too many lings either, as GuMiho was able to leverage what advantages he could find despite a bad position into a huge timing push that secured a win.
All right, we're gonna go into Stargazers. Hey, GuMiho, you have it back natural again. Let's go back.
All right, Stargazers, winner of this wins the series. Battle for first place here in this group.
Alpha X, RagnaroK. Storm Gaming, GuMiho.
You know, watching RagnaroK's rise. I know he lost that game and everything. I don't want to like hype him too much, but that's like kind of my thing, anyways. I look at him. I'm like, is this guy going to be a world champion eventually? Like, it's really weird too, because I'm thinking back to his games from like 2015 and how he was just this weird cheesy, just like drop Link Queen on you and like, you know, Nidus worms every game.
It's the RagnaroK I remember.
Yeah. But he's like filling out now. And he's just getting so good at everything. And like, yeah, things go wrong. Like he just lost that game to GuMiho, but it doesn't feel like he's done. It feels like there's even more stuff he can get better at, you know?
It does feel like he's kind of becoming more well-rounded as a player.
Yeah. It's kind of a fun thing, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, RagnaroK doesn't feel, because we've known him for so long now, right? Like, he was around before 2015, but that's when I remember him starting to peak up into tournaments like SSL. And it's just like, I don't know. He's not someone that you would think of as like a championship tier player ever for that entire time, but here he is coming up to the point where it's like, well, I mean, he could get a GSL in the next year. Like, and playing at this level, and he's still improving. The other pros say it as well.
His macro play has been really
great,
superb. I mean, last game, of course, didn't win it, but
I thought that 2-hatch Muta game, though.
The 2-hatch Muta game was fantastic.
Yeah.
We had other ZVTs that he played previously here in Group A that just looked really good. I mean, once he got on 4 or 5 bases and started powering up, just seemed unstoppable.
Yeah.
And when he makes that kind of macro talent with somebody that is, at his nature, unpredictable and capable of aggression and capable of finding weaknesses and exposing them, it could be, yeah, the makings of a champion, especially for a Zerg player like him to have this kind of range of play.
Which feels weird to me, in a way, because we've had so few different champions. Like, if you look at all the people that have won tournaments in the last few years, it's like Serral, Maru, Raynor, Dark Rogue. That's almost all the tournaments, right? That's like, that's almost all. And then you can go a little bit further and you get the rest, and it's like TY. And you know, I'm just saying, it's just it's
an exclusive club.
Yeah, it almost feels like they're the royalty. And RagnaroK's like, he's like, well, I want to be royalty. I'm like, you weren't born royalty.
He's the Duke of Normandy. He wants to retake Britain.
Yeah. anyways, I don't know.
No, it does kind of feel like that. I think we're, it almost feels like we're past the stage in GSL's history where we're ever going to get a Royal Rotor. You know, this game is so established.
Definitely past it. Yeah, I know. That's the last one I played was Deer, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, has it really been that long? Yeah. I mean, the game is just, it's aged so well and the players have gotten so much better.
Yeah. Even the best rising Koreans are not. The only person who has a chance to Royal Road, I think, is Serral.
yeah.
That would be a hilarious Royal Road. It's like, yeah, the 2-time world champion Royal Road. And I'm like, does that count?
Does count. Got to hype it up, man.
He should do it, man. That would be a
First
sick.
time GSL champion. He's been waiting his entire career for this moment. And that would be really funny. I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
I would love to see him come out to Korea and play in one GSL, but
Everyone would.
I mean, honestly, the guy's got nothing to prove. 2 times world champion.
I know. It's true. It's true. And all of us that are not world champions at anything or think to ourselves, like, I would do it. It's like, you don't know. You don't know what the hell you would do.
You would have won one championship and like be like chilling on a private island or something, but Sarah is still at the top of his game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so we do have GuMiho going up to 3 base right now, and once again, RagnaroK going for a fast spire into a third hatchery.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
I like this.
Going for that again. Now, this is a very, like, look at this. 2 E-bays. He is going stim, so no mech for GuMiho at all here against RagnaroK. But, you know, this is, like, pretty well optimized from GuMiho. The speed of that third base, the speed of the engineering bays. He is going to have a very powerful push, but he has to block the mutas better than the previous time we saw 2-hatch muta.
Yeah, I feel like the previous time we saw 2-hatch muta, the first Ling run by actually got so much done. It got a full mule.
Yeah.
It was able to kill 3 or 4 SCVs, 3 or 4 Marines, and for a very long time, the Marine count for GuMiho was like less than 5. It felt like for maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And to the point where he even needed to sacrifice his Hellions to buy time to actually get turrets and Marines up at home so he could defend the Mutalisks. And in this case, it's a very different story. He's not on the back foot. There was no huge run by that got any kind of damage done. And instead, as you said, he's very efficiently powering up. And so it's going to be a little bit more of a hard-fought game here, it feels, for RagnaroK, especially in terms of finding damage here with these mutas.
Well, he's getting the +1 mute attack. He's getting the Baneling speed. These are the 2 very important things for that 2-hatch play. We don't have turrets yet. And
that
the mutas are going to hit. Ooh, this is the moment that really hurts for GuMiho.
2 SCVs going down already.
Oh, this is exactly what RagnaroK wanted. Exactly what he wanted. Look at this damage.
That's some good damage right there. Stim not even done yet. Still 4 seconds away, so he can't even stim to deflect the Mutalisks. And now 8 SCVs going down.
Oh. Dude, that's a big hiccup to this really beautifully optimized play from GuMiho. Like, that's a lot of lost mining time and 8 lost SCVs, and now he has to build turrets. His harassment is mostly done now as well.
To his credit, though, he's been macroing really well. And I mean, this is very fast Mutalisk play here for RagnaroK, so the worker count, there's not too much discrepancy. And keep in mind, the Terran behind all of this also has mules, so although RagnaroK has a very good tempo from that, GuMiho, with a little bit of economy to spare.
That is the classic caster line right there. It's like, he has mules. I'm like, you know what? You're right. He is going to max out. That is true.
I was saying that when I was a gamer, too, man.
Yeah, no, everybody. Yeah, for sure. Me too. All right, well, GuMiho coming out has a couple tanks in that medevac, so hiding it a little bit. Turrets going up. Does not want that counter harassment to really bother him too much. Marines catching those mutas for a moment.
Ooh, almost a nice catch over there.
Yeah.
Trying to flank the Mutalisks from the bottom side. Able to almost get another SCV.
I like those 2 turrets. It's kind of like an interesting placement.
Well, the third base, although it is like in base, it's quite exposed in terms of distance. Like if you have your army or natural expansion and you try to deflect mutas all the way to the third, it's just so far.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of these expansions, when Terrans do it, it's going to be like kind of 3 bases at a triangle, but this one's much more spread out. So I love all these extra turrets so that he doesn't actually need to commit army supply to defending it.
I like it. And they're kind of zoning as well. The way that they're going down in that diagonal line, it's like in line with his base. So it's
nice
like harder to actually enter. By the way, 2 factories being made. So we're going up to 3 fact as GuMiho.
Okay.
And he does have that +1 vehicle weapon. So this is... It doesn't quite look like split mech bio play, but it's like a pretty... I mean, 3 factories right now, that's a lot of factories. Right? Normally, right now in the game, you have 2.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to be making Widow Mines out of those, if he's going to go Thor tank, if it's just going to be tanks and mines.
I tell you, it feels like Thor Widow Mine to start would be really good. Get your drilling claws and make Thors out of that one for a bit. Oh, he's getting 2 tech labs.
Ooh.
Is he going to go Thor? Did he like...
There's 1 Thor in production.
Oh my god, does he start another Thor? Did he watch that Solar Bunny game? He's like, oh my god, Mass Thor is really good.
Let's play another 30-minute TVZ.
Yeah. 3 Thors, dude.
Wow, okay.
Mass Thor. Oh my god. Well, the Mutas are going to be sad about this, that's for sure.
Does he have any Widow Mines? I'm a little worried about this push if RagnaroK decides he wants to try and bust. And
he has a lot of tanks.
there's
though.
no combat shield actually for these Marines. I think GuMiho might have forgotten it. 3 seconds away now, so fortunately that timing is not going to be too damaging. I was watching that production tab for a while. I'm like, you should have had combat shields a while ago, right?
Okay.
Could have been very scary.
What do you think about 3 Thors at a time? Is he going to keep this up?
I would think that you make 3 and then you switch into something else, but it's GuMiho, so all bets are off.
Yeah, it's really hard to say what he's going to do. In fact, we switch away because that's the way we do it at GSL, man. We're going to hide what's going on. The suspense is real, yeah.
Because the Muta count's not such that he would need to really commit a Thor into the main or the third base. He can actually have all of these with his army. And those 3 Thors are going to zone the Mutas so hard. Yeah, he's starting tank production now. So those 3 Thors are going to kind of just zone away the Mutas, protect the Thors. I feel like once he hits max with this army, if he decides to go for a push, there's real potential there. But again, with this composition, I mean, adding Thors this early as well, and also getting all these mech upgrades, if he decides to go split map, that's also on the table.
Yeah,
I mean, keep in mind, this is the map that we had that 39-minute game on.
Yeah.
It's very easy to play split map on this. You don't have to expand towards your opponent at pretty much any stage in the game. It's kind of in a straight line parallel.
That's a very, very good point. You know, you get that just 6 bases on your side, and then there's the 1 gold base you got to worry about, which, by the way, RagnaroK does have.
I love him taking that base.
Yeah, I think that's important. Saw that from Solar pretty early on as well. Now, here's the thing. As much as I'm digging RagnaroK and his climb to power, I don't think he can play as efficiently as far as trades go as Solar can. I think that is not something that's in his repertoire, is having those types of engagements that we saw from Solar, which is what made that game so close. So I just wonder if we get to that stage, because look at this ghost being made. Hi, by the way. Lurkers.
Looks like we're going to be in for a long one again.
We might be.
A lot of ghosts in production. Man, GuMiho identifying that he, has the potential to just choose to go for a split map scenario and start Thors that early is really good. I mean, when we saw it previously, the mech upgrades were quite late. It wasn't until maybe 20 or 30 minutes. And actually, hold that thought, as a lot of Banelings are coming in. RagnaroK decided he wants to trade these out.
Dude, look at him drop those Thors there to eat Banelings. He blocked for a really, really long time. 15 SCVs go down. He does lose a bunch of Thors and some tanks. But, I don't think that was, I think that was probably inefficient, actually, for RagnaroK.
It was a pretty reasonable trade. Got some Thors, but yeah, as you said, it's not like it was a huge win for either side. It did reset a lot of the strategic unit counts, but, I mean, RagnaroK, it kind of feels like he might just be trying to overpower because he's immediately morphing 37 more Banelings, and if he can do this before GuMiho is able to remax, he has a real chance to end it.
Yeah, I think it's a good play. Like, it may have been more efficient for GuMiho, but right now this is like the peak difference in income, right? Is RagnaroK is mining insanely. He's mining from the gold base, and if he can literally just kind of like attack like a madman while sucking up the gold base and keep GuMiho off those 2 bases, that is a very valid way to play this.
All right, RagnaroK coming in yet again from 3 angles. Banelings rolling in on the top and through the middle. 1 Thor going down before he decides to disengage and wait for some key upgrades. His Adrenal is now 50% down. +3 Carapace also underway. 11 Broodlords now in production. All these snipes.
Soon enough. Yeah, picking off a few Mutas. I don't think he cares that much. The Mutas are like losing value left and right here. They're doing less and less and less. And, they still take a lot of attention if you're trying to make them do something. 3 drop Overlords on the way. That's something I like to see. I do like to see that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I feel like that was missing in the Solar Bunny game.
We definitely didn't see any drop Overlords.
Yeah.
Thing is, there's so many turrets, and I mean, GuMiho's going to get high-sec auto-tracking at some point.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's one of his first upgrades out of eBay. But, he can use the Mutas for tanking, maybe, something like that. I don't know.
Or use the Corruptors, maybe focus down the turrets. All these Mutas just getting traded out now. Not really efficient at this stage in the game.
Yeah, if I'm GuMiho, I'm looking at that, and I'm like, oh, is this a Nidus play? That was almost suspicious the way he threw it in, but now that he's just like letting them die.
11 broods. I really want to see the Thor on the ghost count right now for GuMiho. I know that the
there it is. No
there
Thors, 10 ghosts.
Oh, no Thors actually. Wow,
12.
it's been completely reset.
12 tanks, man.
It's a lot of tanks.
And most of his ghosts are in the main. The Broodlord this is a perfect time to attack with Broodlords. It's literally perfect.
Yeah, this is really good. There's a lot of bank here to remax on Adrenal Lings as well.
Dude, all those ghosts are not here. Like he can just crush through this. Look
yeah,
at
none
this.
of the ghosts are in the front.
Yeah, and there's like all these tanks and stuff. He has nothing to really stop this. This is fantastic timing. Now, here comes some of the ghosts. So might need to turn around. Does get a little bit of damage with it. Look at this. He's going to kill the command center almost.
That command center has to lift off. More snipes coming in, but it's a dangerous game right now with all these Broodlords shooting down on them. The ghosts have come here to the front. Big snipes coming in, but no, they can't connect.
Oh man, some of the Broodlords do get a few hits. A lot of the siege tanks being picked off. Ling Bane trying to zone everything back.
These 11 Broodlords still stand strong. So much damage done right now to GuMiho. His bank is completely depleted. Having to lift off now back to 4 bases is GuMiho. His mineral income, 1.3K to the 3K of RagnaroK,
Yeah.
and RagnaroK has a huge bank already. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
One Broodlord does go down. 35 Banes in production.
Look at this, he has 53 Banelings right now, just kind of rolling through, but the siege tanks are actually getting huge value still. The thing is, he doesn't really have muscle to push back these broods at the moment.
No,
the
he
siege
doesn't.
tanks, though, look at them just punish these Banes.
The thing is, RagnaroK has money to spare right now.
Yeah.
Now, there are Vikings to try and shoo away these Broodlords. No anti-air to speak of here for RagnaroK just yet, but this has been a really long series of efficient engagement for him. GuMiho now fighting back. That is a lot of broods going down. Queen's coming in to support.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to save some of them at least. Trying to run it up the hill here. GuMiho keeping that pressure on. He knows that this army is getting a little bit weak right now. Picks off another couple broods.
Yeah.
Gets all of them. Okay.
GuMiho pouncing on the opportunity to actually take out those Broodlords before RagnaroK was able to effectively remax.
I would love to see the cost efficiency tab because this is such a different game from the other massive TVZ that we saw here on Stargazers early tonight. It feels completely different. It just a different approach from RagnaroK. He's got all these mining bases. He's going, and you can see GuMiho getting more and more efficient.
Yeah, RagnaroK really just trying to kind of force his way there through the front, and it felt like for a moment he might actually be able to break ground. I mean, even now, GuMiho is only at 160 supply, but it was just so expensive, as you said. Those siege tanks, so cost efficient for GuMiho.
Well, GuMiho has retaken some of his bases. That gold base is going to get mined out by RagnaroK. But if he keeps on going so cost inefficiently in, it is still winnable for our Terran player.
No, I wouldn't even have minded if he tried to take that bottom left base and just mine as many minerals from it as possible, you know? Like, eventually it will get cleaned up, but if you're able to deplete like 1,000 minerals, I mean, that's worth it. You take that.
It really is. It's a huge difference. Games like this that come down so much to efficiency, especially if you're going inefficiently like RagnaroK is, this type of style, you really do need to suck up some extra minerals.
GuMiho, in terms of splash damage, down to only 5 siege tank now. He does have 10 ghosts. That's where a lot of the strength in this army lies, as well as the 3 Thors and 26 Marines. But in terms of splash damage, not the best army to deal with Baneling. RagnaroK seems like he wants to pounce again.
Well,
oh man.
The thing is, the spreads he has are really good. The very few Marauders he has left over are actually spread pretty well. I like that Thor in the front as well. It's just kind of pre-spread units.
Sniping Banelings.
Oh,
wow.
I love it. Nice move there.
Yeah, that fungal preventing them from getting in the medevac. RagnaroK coming in. It's been a pretty good trade so far. A lot of bio going down.
Oh my god.
SCV's falling as well. Supply plummeting for GuMiho, but not army supply, still at 82.
Okay, what do you do here as GuMiho? Because that type of move is pretty damn painful. He's still got 48 workers, I guess. Let's take a look. He only has 2 bases that really have good mineral patches left.
His army supply is really healthy. He's a strong force, but again, lacking a little bit in the splash damage department. Oh, yippee! He gets 2 of them.
solid neural EMP. I like it.
All right, here we go. Lurkers are in the fray now too, burrowing on the north side. Banelings coming in. They get huge connections on the Marines.
Oh my god, the Ghosts trying to get away from these Banelings, and they will escape. They come back in, start trying to clear things up.
Man, RagnaroK is making it happen right now. GuMiho about to fall below 100 supply, right on the precipice of disaster, as he really only has these Ghosts to his credit right now. And RagnaroK just continuing to powering. I mean, look at this mineral income. He has 88 workers. This is kind of a last hurrah for him in terms of the mining bases that he has. Oh, that fungal, absolutely huge. Burrows the Lurkers. All the Ghosts go down.
Absolute madness. That was a fantastic move. These burrowed infestors just kill it. GuMiho GG's, and RagnaroK will end up winning the group in an awesome game from him.
Man, that was something else. I mean, GuMiho, you get the 3 free bases on that, and he only adventured out to take 2 more expos on the map. We never even saw him try to take the bottom left. RagnaroK just dictated the pace of the game. He attacked relentlessly, and he busted what seemed like an impenetrable position. It took like 5, 6 huge attacks.
I loved the Broodlords when the Thors got eliminated. He like kind of went into Broodlords, and then he went into Massling Bane after the Broodlords killed some extra siege tanks. Then he switched into Lurkers. The Infestor Burrow play was great. A strong play from RagnaroK. And now GuMiho, we're going to have to take a look at the point standings, man, because it's getting murky. The only thing for certain is RagnaroK has won the group. On to the round of 4, my man. They can't keep you out of the royalty forever.
And now RagnaroK has defeated every single player in his group. And with 4 wins, he moves on to round of 4. This is your first GSL round of 4 in your career, RagnaroK. How do you feel right now?
원래 보통 이제 경기 하기 전에
Well, you know, honestly, before the match,
어떻게 말하지 이런 거 자주
I always think
생각하는데
about what to say in the interview.
오늘도 한번 어제 자기 전에 한번 생각을 해봤어요.
And I
어떻게
pondered about
말하지
that
하면서
before I
왠지
went to sleep yesterday.
울먹거리는 건 아닐까 이런
And you know, I was kind of
생각을
worried
했는데
that I might be tearing up in the interview.
그런 건 아닌 것 같고.
But you know, I don't
그냥
think that's the
이제
case.
너무 늦게 온 것 같아요.
I think it's taken too long for me to come to the round of 4. Wow, RagnaroK, we can feel how desperate, how much you wanted this round of 4. So, from your perspective, do you think this is too late?
그렇죠. 많이 늦었다고 생각을
Yes, it's been too
하고,
late. You know, it's been a long time coming.
물론 이제 저보다 엄청 잘하는 프로게이머들이
You know, there are so many
크겠지만
better pro gamers than me who have gone to the military service.
이번 연도였던 것 같아요. 그래서
And you know, now that I'm the only one left, I made it to the round of 4. And I think the performance in practice definitely translated into my offline performance today. And you went through all the offline, you went through all the full league system. And this year feels like the year for you, RagnaroK. You're clearly showing a different side of yours this year. And you know, I think all the effort you put into this game so far has definitely bore fruit today.
어떻게 보면은 그 전에는 제가
You know, in the past,
저만의 스타일이 있었는데
I had a unique play style.
버린 지가 좀 됐었어요.
And you know, it's been quite some time since I threw away the play style. Since I reinvented myself,
생각을 많게 하는 걸 좋아하는 스타일인데
you know, I always liked kind of like
이번 연도부터 다시
luring
그
my
스타일을
opponent
시작한
into
것
mind
같아요.
games, making him think about a
그리고
lot of things, a lot of
주변에서
variables.
응원해주시는 분들도 많고
And there has been a lot of supporters in my life.
그리고 이제 준호 형이랑 재선 형이랑 자주 만나서 이제
And you know, here at Bunny, we meet each other quite often. We hang out.
근데 그런 게 게임할 때 더 좋은 것 같아요.
But you know, during games, you know, that experience is so much better. Did you get your hairstyle today? OX quiz. Nope, no hairstyling today. Alright, let's talk about your ZVT match. And you said before that you just all in practice the ZVT matches. And you know, using the Mutalisk to take the initiative, it was really fantastic to watch. So in practice, what was your main focus, and what do you think you achieved well today?
아무래도 제가 먼저 전략을 거는 거는 그렇게 좋은 판단은
You know, I
아니라고
don't think it's really
생각했어요.
the
그동안
best for
많이
me to
했고,
engage
그리고
first.
경재형 스타일이
And you know,
오히려
GuMiho's play
전략을
style
걸면은 역 카운터 치는 경우가 많아가지고
He kind of likes to counter when the opponent is engaging heavily.
컨셉은 상대방이 이제 메카닉을 할 거라고 생각을 했어요.
So you know, I had a feeling the opponent was going to go for mechanic. So if I go for fast hydralist, it's really good for a mechanic build. So that's why I used it. But if he goes for bionic build, it's really just a thank you for me. You know, I appreciate it.
예상해서 그의 정확하게 맞는
So,
대처까지 준비를
A
해오신
phenomenal performance from you today, RagnaroK. So with this great momentum and with good preparation, everything is just fitting so well like a puzzle. And I think you can set your eyes, you can set your goal even higher than round 4. What do you think?
결승 가고 싶은데
You know, I really want to go to the finals.
어떻게 될지 모르겠어요.
I don't know how it's going to turn out to be. I don't know how the bracket's going to turn out to be.
왠지 이번 시즌에는 뭔가
But this season,
기운이 나한테 오는 느낌이
you know, I
들어요.
feel like the
왜냐면은
universe is helping me for sure.
저번 주에 제가 했을 때
You know, last week I played.
잘한 것 같지 않은데
You know, I didn't think my performance was like
오더라고요.
that good.
그래서 뭔가 그거 프로 게임도 잘 되고.
So you know, after the week 1, everything is like working out well for me. I've been performing better. So I think, you know, the universe is definitely helping me. So your round of 4 opponent is gonna matter a lot. So currently DRG is placed first in Group B, and there's Maru as well. So is there any race you particularly prefer, or a player you prefer in particular?
사실 성주만 아니면 상관없는데.
I mean, as long as it's not Maru, I don't really care.
근데 사실
But I have a feeling Maru might be eventually placed first in the group.
해도 괜찮은 게
But even if I play against Maru, it's not too bad because I want to overcome my matchup against him.
포기고 싶어요.
So I really want to take him down.
사실 4강이면 좋겠지만 결승에서 하고 싶어요.
So you know, if it's the round of 4, I wouldn't mind, but I really hope I get to burst him in the finals. So RagnaroK is currently achieving his career high record, and he has finally made it to the round of 4 after a long time. So I'm sure you're like ecstatic right now. And anything else you want to say before you go? Any closing thoughts?
굉장히 오래 걸렸는데.
It's been a long time coming. I'm really happy. I'm really ecstatic.
연습을 도와준 이제 재선이 형과
And there's
형과
Bunny helped me, Myung,
사실
Cure, they all helped me with practice. Had it not been those Terran players helping me with practice, I wouldn't have made it to round of 4 today.
그리고 오늘 민수가 저한테
And
이제
Solar,
게임했는데 민수도
you know, he played against me, and Solar was, you know, not in good form today. But I'm really thankful to him.
저는 이제 더 열심히 할 동기부여도 생겼고.
You know, I think I gained the motivation to try harder in future matches.
100%로 보여줬다고 생각하지 않기 때문에.
And I don't think I've shown my 100% performance yet. I want to show my 100% performance in the round of 4. Alright, please give a round of applause to RagnaroK. Thank you.
All right, I'll give a round of applause. So he played fantastically. He continues to get better and better. He is probably the most consistent player this season, or not this season, but this year overall.
Yeah, his play's been superb. Just really exciting to watch. I'm loving the the two-hatch Muta play.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Guys, quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll decide the rest of the group. Hero versus Bunny.